Dear students, today we are going to start a new chapter, Lesson 8, The Happy Prince by Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde was an Irish writer, poet and playwright. Who is a playwright? A playwright is a person who writes plays. যিনি নাটক লেখেন, নাট্যকার. He is called a playwright. So he wrote many famous short stories like The Selfish Giant, The Happy Prince, The Birthday of Intifada, The True Friend, and many other stories. The Happy Prince is one of his very famous short stories, and our text has been dramatized. To dramatize means to present a story in the form of a drama. একটা গল্পকে নাটকের আকারে লেখা, that is called dramatization. So here we are going to read the dramatization of his short story The Happy Prince. Open your books at page 70. You will find that there are some characters in this play. But remember one thing, The Happy Prince was written by Oscar Wilde as a short story. Oscar Wilde a ছোট গল্প হিসেবে লিখেছিলেন, and now the Parshad has dramatized it. So it is not the original writing of Oscar Wilde. এটা Oscar Wilde এর মূল লেখা নয়. It is just a dramatization of his short story. As it is a drama, এটা একটা নাটক বলে, there are some characters. Look at the characters. The Happy Prince, a statue. Swallow, the bird. A woman dressmaker. Her son, a poor young playwright. Playwright means a person who writes plays. A poor little girl. The mayor. The mayor is the head of the corporation. Town councillors. The councillors are people under the mayor. A group of beggars. Sundry people means common people. An angel. Who is an angel? An angel is a messenger of God. Devdut. তাকে বলা হয় angel. These are the characters of this play. Curtain goes up. In deep center stage, a high and large square box looking like a pedestal is placed. This is called stage direction. We know that a play has to be staged. So there must be a stage, and the stage must be decorated. মঞ্চকে সাজাতে হয়. So here is a stage direction. A stage direction means instructions how to prepare a stage. After the curtain goes up, curtain মানে পর্দা, পর্দা ওঠার পর what is seen in the center of the stage. Center means the middle. There is a large square box. Square means a geometrical figure, all the sides of which are equal. বর্গক্ষেত্র, তাকে বলা হয় square. A large square box which looks like a pedestal. What is a pedestal? A pedestal is a high platform on which a statue stands. মূর্তি দাঁড়িয়ে থাকে যার উপরে, তাকে বলা হয় pedestal. Upon the box stands the Happy Prince. Actually, the Happy Prince is a statue, and the person who is essaying the character, যে চরিত্রে অভিনয় করছে যে ব্যক্তি, he is standing on the pedestal. That means he is standing on the box. He stands stiffly. Stiffly means without movement, because he is a statue, resembling a statue. Resemble means look alike, একই রকম দেখতে. The person who is essaying the character of the Happy Prince must look like a statue. যে ব্যক্তি হ্যাপি প্রিন্সের চরিত্রে অভিনয় করছে তাকে মূর্তির মতো দেখাতে হবে, because the Happy Prince is a statue. A statue is what the Happy Prince is. The Happy Prince is not a character of flesh and blood today. আজকে সে রক্ত মাংসের চরিত্র নয়. Today he is a statue. He is wearing a golden tunic. Tunic means dress. His dress is made of gold. He stands still. Still means without movement, with legs apart. With legs apart, that means there is a gap between his legs. His hands resting on the hilt of a sword. Hilt. Hilt means the junction between the handle and the blade of a sword. একটা তলোয়ারের হাতল এবং তার যে ফলা, তার মাঝখানের যে জাংশন যেখানে দুটো মিলেছে, দ্যাট ইজ কল্ড দ্য হিল্ট। সো দ্য হ্যান্ড অফ দ্য হ্যাপি প্রিন্স ইজ অন দ্য হিল্ট অফ দ্য সোড, whose tip rests on the pedestal shaped box. The tip of the sword, tip means the topmost point, Agroha. The topmost point of the sword is on the pedestal. A large red stone is fixed on the side of the hilt. On the hilt there is a ruby. What is a ruby? A ruby is a precious stone, but a mulloban pathor which is red in color. It is called ruby. In Bengali it is called chuni. So there is a ruby fixed on the hilt of the sword. The open eyes of the happy prince are individually covered with blue colored paper cut in the shape of the eye. The eyes of the happy prince are made of a precious blue stone. The precious blue stone is what the happy prince's eye is made of. The eyes are made of. Happy prince's chok নীল পাথর দিয়ে তৈরি. So here blue colored paper is glued to his eyes. নীল রঙের কাগজ তার চোখের উপর আটকে দেওয়া আছে. That means he has eyes made of precious blue stone. The statue of Happy Prince faces the audience. Audience means people who are watching the play. Darshak. The statue faces the audience. Darshaker dike mukh kore dariye ache murti. A few young students holding books, bags on their shoulders come out of the left wing. Left wing means the left side. From the left side of the stage, some young students enter the stage, cross the stage talking. The stage is lit in yellow. There a yellow color covers the stage. The color will change. Student 1, what is he saying? So this is the famous statue of Happy Prince. They pause. Pause means to stop and gather admiringly around the statue of the Happy Prince. To gather means to assemble. Joro hawa. They assemble around the statue of the Happy Prince, and they are admiringly gathering around the statue. Admire means to praise, প্রশংসা করা. They are praising the statue of the Happy Prince. Student 2, he is very well known in this land. Well known. Well known means famous. He is very famous in this land. Happy Prince lived in the wonderful palace of Sans Souci. During the day he played with his friends in the palace garden. By night he sang and laughed. When the Happy Prince was alive, he spent his days in mirth and merriment. Happy Prince যখন বেঁচে ছিলেন তখন তিনি দিন কাটাতেন আনন্দে. He passed his days in mirth and merriment. He played with his friends in the palace garden. At night he sang and laughed. He had no idea about the people of this world who lived outside his palace. The Happy Prince is called Happy Prince because he had no idea of sorrow. দুঃখ সম্পর্কে তার কোনো ধারণা নেই. That is why he is called the Happy Prince. Student 1, you mean he never felt sad? The student number 1, he wants to know if Happy Prince did not know anything about sadness. Student 2, nothing sad ever entered the door of the prince's palace. Inside the princess's palace there was no sadness. Everyone called him the Happy Prince, and when he died, the town built this statue and named it the same. After the death of the Happy Prince, the people of the city lovingly made a statue of the Happy Prince. তার মৃত্যুর পর তারা ভালোবেসে এই মূর্তিটা তৈরি করেছিল, and they set it up on a pedestal. they also gave the name the Happy Prince to the statue. Student 3. The Happy Prince is built with gold from head to foot. The statue was made of gold. His eyes are two precious sapphire. As I have already said, sapphire is a precious blue stone. নীল রঙের দামি পাথর, বাংলায় বলে নীলা. His eyes are made of sapphires, and there is a big red ruby on his sword head. Ruby, a bright red-colored precious stone. In Bengali, chul. Student 1 glances up at the Happy Prince with awe. Glance means to look at. The first student looks at the Happy Prince with awe. Awe means reverential fear. Fear mixed with reverence. Reverence মানে ভক্তি, fear মানে ভয়. Fear mixed with reverence.